Hey Terp fans, it's your friendly neighborhood Mr. Smiley here. This is coming at you with something a little bit different. This is a raiding strategy video, although I will show a war attack. This is what we're starting to call Valkgasm. I think it might have been one of the Robs who coined that in one of the chats. But basically, it's a Town Hall 10 raiding strategy. I've used it to push up to Champs 2 here. That seems to be the sweet spot right now for me as a mid Town Hall 10. The rating comp is, let's watch one of the videos here. Still playing around with it to find the effectiveness of it, but it started out with me trying to use the Valkyrie Tornado strategy, where that strategy you basically take half a dozen giants and two healers, and you would use it on each end, usually against a ring base. But with the Valkyrie Tornado, you basically start them over here and start them over here with giants and healers, and that draws all the defenses out here. And then in the middle, you drop a golem, and maybe an earthquake here, and then send in the Valkyrie. And you would ideally you wait until everything goes, and maybe a couple giants too. Ideally, you would wait until they get to the first Inferno before you rage them, and then you freeze the second Inferno, and then you drop a heal on the giants, golem, wizards, Valkyrie in the middle, and they just rip apart the core. So that's where the army comp came from. I decided that since I had been playing around with the Archer Queen walk in a lot of war attacks and have been having a lot of success with that, that I'd do a modification of the Valkyrie Tornado and basically change it into a Queen walk with a giant and Valkyrie core dive. And so part of the effectiveness of this as a rating comp is that basically it's a very low dark elixir comp, and the comp for the cost for the comp is basically right up here. I think it's about 240. Yeah, that's working out really awesome. I have horrible handwriting on this too. So about 240k elixir. Yeah. Yeah. So just take my word for it. This is 240k elixir, and then maybe I don't know. I think it's about 1400 dark elixir when you get into the earthquakes and the Valkyrie. So at champs level, you're getting at about champs 2, I think it's about 225,000 elixir, 1220 dark elixir. So basically, as long as you get 1 star, you're paying for the cost of the army comp plus the gold, depending on how much of the percentage you get before you get the star. So basically, the goal of this strategy is that let's get Mr. Clicky back here. You're going to drop an earthquake at a spot that is going to open up the core, and then the job of the giants and the wizards and the Valkyrie is basically just to take out this part. It's a core dive to remove the Inferno, because that's basically the only thing that's going to hurt your Archer Queen. And then once you do that, you pick a spot over here. I like to pick one in front of an air defense so that she can target that air defense and take that out. Because that's really, other than the Infernos, the air defenses are really the only thing that are going to be a big risk for my Archer Queen. So you know, the giants and the Valkyrie will usually kind of go over here and start doing some damage. If it works out well and I take out these other air defenses, usually the Queen around the top of the base here will still be picking off stuff, but then the healers will float off over to the giants and the Valkyrie and just continue mowing through the base with the Queen bringing up the rear and picking things up. So let's watch this raiding strategy. We're going to watch it on 2x. So open up a nice core, do a little bit of damage to a crossbow here. You can either drop the giants in 2 packs on either side to send the wall breakers in the middle, or you can just spread them all out. It doesn't really matter. Again, I've been dropping. Let's go back to 1x. I've been dropping the heals a little bit too quickly, or the spells a little bit too quickly. You want to do a rage first, and then do one freeze and the heal. I think ideally I want to be more patient and wait. Like I said before, I want to wait until I get into the core before I drop the rage around the first Inferno, and then the freeze not into the second, and then the heal between the first and the second Inferno. And you also want to try to attack the Inferno one at a time. But I'm being a little bit impatient here just because I'm new to the strategy. But that's something that we've talked about in clan chat, and there's a room for improvement. Monitor your Burger King. Don't pop his ability too soon. But like you can see here, I've already taken out the second Inferno. Burger King's still at max. There's a max crossbow over there that is starting to hurt him a little bit. They've really exhausted everything that they're going to do in the core, and at this point I'm going to pop his fist and try to burst out of the core to just try to get as much out of those giants in the core dive as I can. Some of them wander over, and you can see the Valkyrie loving those buildings that are close together and just taking those out. Archer Queen is over there on the left, really not doing anything. Just cleaning up, not taking any damage at all, and just working her way around the outside of the base. And so I managed to get all the Valkyrie up. The king is still holding on, doing a little bit of damage there. He goes down. His pack barbs are doing their work, but they're still up. The Valkyrie are still up doing some damage and tanking for the queen. So it doesn't really matter whether the healers are on the queen herself or on the stuff that's tanking in front of her. And the key to a successful raid really seems to be whether you can get that second Inferno and still have as many giants and Valkyrie up in the core that start tanking for that queen. Some of the other fails that I've had are just, the queen wanders around the base in a way that the air defense start taking it apart. I think this probably works best against bases that have air defense in the middle, or that are pretty, the base is going to allow the queen to just wander around. Here you can see my OCD picking up all the loot here. So I want to show one other version of the attack, and this can be both in raiding or as a war bully beatdown, where you're a Town Hall 10 going against a Town Hall 9, which is not a challenging attack. It's so easy that even Gat can almost do it. But it's something where it's a low reward because you're expected to do it, but there is a chance that you're not going to get it. And I've been having a great success with a 2-jump Go Hova, which is pretty easy and works against most bases. But this is just even easier. I mean, it really does not matter where the double giant bombs are. So you're going to open the base up just like with the first attack. I'm not going to use a telestrator, but basically this one I dropped the queen first as a distract. The 4 healers against any Town Hall 9 is going to be plenty. Against a max Town Hall 10, I would probably go with 5 healers because you run the risk that she's going to get overwhelmed and you're going to have to use your ability too much. So there, all the damagey stuff starts going in there. Valkyrie go nuts. Giants go nuts. Drop the heal. You want to carry 2 poisons with this strategy, and that way you can spread them out if they start following the giants around. And really, they're not going to do all that much because they're so slow, and they're slowed down by the poison. Patient with the second heal because I don't know where the bombs are, but assume they're somewhere in the core. And like with the first attack, it's just a massive core dive to get as much of the middle out as possible, and then you're struggling a little bit to get out of that core. But at this point, with the added 30 seconds on the timer, and the level 38 Archer Queen is just gonna start picking stuff off. I have a whole mess of giants and Valkyrie left over. Burger King still at max health, and there I go, popping the ability to get him out through those lavas. Or I guess maybe they're Yeah. Yeah. So you know, pop the queen's ability just to chew through some walls. Again, she's just walking through bombs. The giant pack is just going to go through stuff. So I'm curious to see whether, you know, how viable this is as a Town Hall 9 versus Town Hall 9 strategy. So for you guys in the clan, please go ahead, try it out raiding, try it out in a war attack. Let me know how it works. I would probably go with maybe adding a golem or two to the comp, dropping a couple wizards, and using the giant 7 in the clan castle. I think is probably going to be your best bet. But try it out. Let me know how it works. Go Terps.